I'd like to call upon Kitty's subconscious, please.
Yes, we're here.
Well, thank you so much. Are we able to do it? Is Angus experiencing your energy, subconscious?
Yes.
What message does Angus have today for her?
He is protective. He wants to protect her always. And when there is a shift in energy, he alerts her. His message is that he is supporting her always and to trust him and rely on him more.
Have they had other lifetimes together?
Yes, they have. He was in a horse form, a horse-like form on the Pleiades.
He's almost the size of a horse this lifetime, being that gigantic dog.
He is, and he has many mannerisms that have always reminded her of a horse. Yes, they were great friends.
That is beautiful.
They are great friends.
Okay, well, we acknowledge him today, and I'm sorry that he has not been brought up in other sessions because I feel like he does want to get our attention to be heard through silly English language, which obviously he doesn't need because he is so intuitive and that he knows you know him as being Kitty. So thank you, subconscious, for allowing us to have that confirmation today. Subconscious, how is your body doing from the experience of the weekend? Because we know she was struggling.
Yes, her body has imbalances. There is lower back and mainly hips, her hips, both hips. There is much tension and pain. This pain is caused by her feeling that she must support them. It is due to her feeling like she has the weight of the world on her shoulders, and her hips are aching because of that, because she is trying to be everyone's stability.
Okay. And she was wanting to know how she could have healthy boundaries with her family members. What would you like her to know?
It is difficult because of it is difficult to put boundaries up. Angus is licking her face.
he is subconscious. What is his message to her in terms of licking her face?
He feels the energy from yesterday and her feeling like she must support them and feeling overwhelmed. So he is reassuring her everything is okay and not to feel that way anymore.
That is lovely. Okay, well, thank you. So in terms of the hips, are we able to release that for her now so she doesn't have to feel that discomfort?
Yes, we will help release that.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you. And was there any other body problems or issues that you can tell us about?
Her lower back is due to the siphoning of energy, as we have told her previously. She felt so exhausted last night that she did not go out and ground as she should have. and she needs to ask with her free will that all cords that others have attached to her be cut and released, as she is not to supply them with energy.
I see. Um, she would feel that that is not being kind if she's not supporting them. Can you help her know the difference between not giving them her energy versus still loving them and supporting them?
Yes, it is actually much more loving to hold the energy and then release it when she is no longer in their presence. She can hold the energy in the atmosphere that they are in without absorbing their energy. She can transmute it, but she is working so hard to hold the energy, her absorbing the energy as well as maintaining the frequency is strenuous on her body, and it is not benefiting them in the long run because they need to learn how to hold their own vibrations. So she can love them and be accepting of them, but she also should tell them truly that they are creating this energy on their own. They are not victims. She can help empower them by listening but not taking on their energy, not transmuting it for them, helping them learn to do it on their own, and shining a light on their victim mentalities will actually help them. They may be mad at her right away, and it may feel like she is doing the wrong thing. But in truth, it is so much more loving to give them the keys to raising and maintaining their own vibrations and looking at their lives in a different way. They do not need her to have a pity party with them. She thinks that is how you are supposed to support someone, is by going down to the depths together. But it is not. In fact, you should not go down into the depths. It only hurts her. It only lowers her frequency that she works so hard at maintaining and raising. Therefore, she needs to keep the higher perspective, and instead of going down the road with them, she can shine a light on their road, helping them to decipher their own paths. It is tough love. It is one of her biggest lessons of this life.
Oh, I see. Well, yes, it is extraordinary. That lesson of tough love, because it feels like you're not being of service and hurting them and doing what you feel is the opposite of what they actually need. But thank you, we can put that into a better perspective. She is wanting to understand why specifically she does have had reincarnated into the family that she is in, because she doesn't feel that she's getting much support from them.
Yes, that is not in her contract to get support from them. It is to support them, but there is actually a greater purpose for her. One of the reasons why she chose to incarnate in this family was her original soul essence that came through what we have been referring to as her Pleiadian side. That there was a fear that was experienced by that aspect. It had reincarnated a couple times previously into the Pleiadian experience. And while one of those lifetimes, and also in other lifetimes, she has experienced deep fear of lower vibrational entities. She wanted to come into this environment for multiple reasons, one of them being to face the lower vibrational entities head on, not to hide from them, not to avoid them because they might lower her vibration, but to face them, to know her own inner strength is so great, to become empowered by being in those situations with those people. They were putting her into the fear again, and it was opportunities for her to overcome the fear that she had previously accumulated. So it is a way of balancing. She wanted to remember her own inner strength again. She wanted to be put in situations that were very dense, that she could not run from. That way, it is an optimal opportunity for her to rise up and face the fears and overcome. And also to see that breaking a stereotype mentality that she developed being amongst the stories and the experiences of past lives where there were collectives that were viewed very negatively and judged. And unfortunately, she also placed judgment. And so she was placed with specific entities, some that had the negative agenda, and others that wanted to break the mold. So that way she could see there are a multitude of different experiences possible in different dimensions, and that entire collectives are not to be singularly blamed for past events and for all fear emotions. Some of them are self-inflicted fears. And she has had the best examples of both types of entities from the same collective. So she could broaden her view on that collective.
I see. And so, can you tell me more about the significance of the relationship she has with her sister then?
Yes, that is a relationship that was meant for her to face the fear head on. Her sister has dominated, controlled, done everything she could to take her power away. She has a negative agenda. She is also part of the reptilian collective, and she does not wish to change that. She has spent lifetimes feeling superior, and she was placed with this great entity, this great positive force entity, as a challenge, as a balance. Both of them wanted to experience polarity, and they agreed to try this dynamic. Though her sister had different motivations, she is working with the collective to well, mainly the relationship is a balancing and a chance for Kitty to rise above, to face her fear, and also to see that it is all our individual responsibility and our individual choices, no matter. Her sister is actually learning profound things from her, even though it does not appear that way at all to Kitty. She has never felt unconditional love before in any of her lives. She was in extreme density. She got joy out of controlling and hurting others because she did not know anything else. And feeling Kitty's unconditional love is something that she was not expecting or ready for. And she feels so threatened by her light, so annoyed that she can't control her. No matter what she physically does to Kitty, it cannot stop her from loving. So it is for Kitty's benefit to rise above and to empower herself, but also for the sister to feel unconditional love and to face an entity that will not back down, that will not stop loving her, no matter how much she tries to scare her. Kitty just keeps trying. She has agreed to this. She has agreed to love her. This family has much ancestral healing. And so Kitty is trying to balance them, trying to help shine the light. But her biggest purpose is the love. Because these entities, they do not know love. They need a great, strong example, one that would not be crushed. And it was a greater challenge than Kitty anticipated. She had much experience with holding frequency in her past lives. This is her specialty, is to bring in high energy and then hold it for her people. So it is very, very different for all involved. This is a monumental situation.
Fantastic. Thank you for letting us know that. How will the sister process the laser event?
Unfortunately, she will feed on the pity. she has not learned the lessons that we were hoping. While Kitty was a big impact, this particular entity, she will feed off of the fear and try to get as much pity as possible from her sister's passing.
Oh, I see. Well, that is less fortunate, but we understand. A good reminder, perhaps, for us to not enable those who are seeking pity.
Yes, exactly. When it happens, those of us or those of you who seek pity do not need you to give them your energy. We would love if everyone would try to be aware of that. There are entities that do feed off of fear and pity, and there will be much to feed off of. So we would like everyone to not fall into that trap.
Thank you. Yes, well, now that we know the trap is laid, we can definitely master our way around that. So thank you so much. It is very insightful. Kitty would also like to know if her life contract has changed, or has anyone in her immediate family's life contract changed?
Her contract has slightly changed, but she is still going to New Earth. However, she is not staying very long. She is needed elsewhere, and the situation is intensifying. And it is taking longer than expected in this mission. So her time on New Earth will be shortened, but it will not be a disappointment to her at all. In fact, she she will welcome it.
Thank you.
As far as others in her family, there are opportunities when the laser event happens. There are opportunities for them to make choices. But most of them, as we see it right now, she has the most up-to-date information on their contracts.
Thank you so much. She was curious about what is going on with her portal home on the Pleiades, and what is and was her mission and role on that planet.
She feels like it's home because she is incarnated more there than anywhere else. But she incarnates at the highest level there. So she is responsible for many of the people, for holding energy and bringing in energy, protecting them, helping them. So it goes very far back when she helped the refugees relocate to the Pleiades. She became as a guardian to them and then decided to incarnate with them. And she has a home there. There is a portal. She has been away. She feels worried that her people feel abandoned. This is where she will be going straight away after New Earth, because as she was away, there were I'm showing there was there are entities that sensed she was going to be away, and it is a weakness. And so they are wanting to use the portal to access the region. And she need not fear, because we have called in reinforcements. They are holding the light for her and protecting the area. But she is the only one with the codes to relocate this portal. And so she will be doing this.
Okay. Is there any more information you would like us to know about that?
We are not giving her very much now because we feel that she will start worrying and want to go there. And it is not time yet. She is still needed here, and she will still be needed to help Gaia transition. So this is why we are being vague. We are only giving her bare minimal at this time, as we don't need her to be triggered into going to protect that area. It is being protected. She need not worry. But this is why she feels like she may have a home there, because she loves that place so much and has seen many civilizations and worlds. They are like children. They are having beautiful lives, and then this new idea comes and infiltrates, and it is the same scenario that keeps getting played over and over. And it is one of her greatest fears that it will happen to that place again, as it happened to Earth, as it's happened to many other planets. It is this ancestral pattern that we are working on healing. We are doing everything we can to help.
Thank you. Is there anything that we can do using our free will? Can our free will impact other planets?
Actually, what is happening on Earth now is impacting them. So we just need to try and experience this for all that it is. Learn as many lessons we can now. The old Earth experience will have ripple effects throughout the galaxies. So really using your free will to be present, to learn these lessons now, so that they do not keep repeating time and time again, is the best support you can give.
Thank you so much. I love that. I love being reminded of that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Subconscious, she is curious about her experience as the Eye of Ra in ancient Egypt. Why is that lifetime so significant to her?
Because her higher self was, as we know, the guardian of Lemuria, and she was profoundly heartbroken because of what happened there, and also what happened with Atlantis. And so it is the first time that she, as an entity, had felt such disappointment and heartbreak. And so she took on a great burden, great amount of responsibility, thinking that it was her fault, that she should have been more diligent in protecting what information came to them. However, she, of course, could not control the other collectives and also the free will. Free will is something that she has had to confront many times, and she wants to help, but the free will of the people will change the outcomes that she had planned. That lifetime in ancient Egypt, she put the responsibility on herself to watch not only the humans, but also the other collectives, especially the Syrians and the other collectives who were largely influencing the people and the developing culture in ancient Egypt. She was taking on so much responsibility and so much guilt. And so she was watching and guarding and protecting, and she needs to release that burden and that guilt that she felt over not doing what she felt good enough job at the beginning of this earth experiment. There was, this is a way that it is supposed to be, and she needs to accept that. She was trying to maintain the order and the vibrations, holding the vibrations and the order and justice, and took too much on herself. And so it would be greatly beneficial for us to release this today.
Well, thank you. Yes, please, are you able to help her release this today?
Yes, and also the guilt that she feels because she did judge them. She judged other collectives. She judged the people. She can release that guilt now.
Well, it's understandable that she has that higher perspective of love, and it does seem confusing why people are choosing not to be within love.
Yes, it has broken her heart over and over. But learning that lesson as in the guardian of Lemuria, and then though being a watcher, that was a lesson for her to realize about the free will of 3D planets, to learn, because where she is used to, does not work that way. And so it was a great time for her to see the ripple effects of free will, and to realize that as high dimensional beings, we can only do so much, and then we have to let go of the responsibility and realize that eventually love will find a way. They will find their way to love, and to love their mistakes, because they are teachers. It was a great lesson for the whole collective to be able to watch and help as much as we can, but to also release guilt of not being able to rescue them.
Yes, I understand. Are you able to give us a summary of what really happened with Lemuria and the collapse in the last days?
Yes, there was, as we have discussed before, there was the hierarchy. There was a war with Atlantis, but that is not what started the destruction. It was from within. This is why her heart broke, because it was from within. They, there was a group, there was a group of them that used their free will to start to control using the crystals. And there was deception. There was collaboration. There was forewarning that was not listened to. When she saw her own people use their free will to go down this path, the pain is great, but it is all part of the experience. So there was a family. There was a family that decided to collaborate with some of the Atlanteans to control and take power. And there was manipulation. But there were also leaders of Lemuria who did connect in with us, and we were able to give them forewarning of what would happen, and they were led underground and through portals. But many of them did not heed the warning. Many of them trusted this family as they had presented themselves as more advanced and as guides and leaders, and the people throughout the generations, they forgot that they had the power within them. They need not look to a higher authority. They need not be controlled. They believed this family and the stories that they told them, and they listened. And that would be their downfall. And so the summary truly is that there was great deception. There was, the Atlanteans themselves were deceived as well. There were many collectives that were influencing this experiment. The intentions were so good. All of us wanted this to be a collection of all of the knowledge throughout the galaxy. Many collectives seeded this planet so that we could carry on the knowledge from our different collectives, as well as interact with each other in a new way. There are so many ancestral healing that we were hoping for, and these two societies were representing different collectives, and we knew that they would one day come back together. We had hoped it would be that they would come together in glory and in oneness, uniting all of the collectives together here on Earth, keeping all of the knowledge and the records for everyone, being able to connect with the high dimensional beings while also experiencing 3D life and everything that comes with it. And unfortunately, that is not what happened. Greed, and free will to control others and to have power and manipulate that power onto the innocent. That is what happened. It is not that Atlanteans or some evil society who came and destroyed the beautiful Lemuria. Unfortunately, that is not what happened. That is not what happened. They were allowed to come. They were collaborated with. And so it is good for this truth to come out, because it shows that it was not just one collective, it was many, and it was decisions of humans to misuse the information, just as it has been done for years here. It was started then, and it has continued. It is a great lesson for humanity that the high dimensional information and the ability to access the information and to use it wisely. So after seeing that and seeing her own people decide to manipulate and use, this is why we thought that it was necessary to withhold information from the masses and to control it much more. But it did not work again. We hope this does clear up some of the histories. There is so much more to reveal, but it is so emotional, and it is so sad. But the highest perspective is that it can be healed now. And everything that we were all hoping for, all of our collectives, for this Earth experience, we will have that on New Earth. We will not allow it to happen like it did here. Free will is not going to be the same there. It was a lesson for all of us. The Lemuria Atlantean experiment, it was a lesson for all of us.
So true. Thank you. Subconscious, why is it that Kitty couldn't get a session with the level 3 practitioner who was working in the Lemuria and the information?
Because it was not meant to be. That practitioner is blocked. She wanted to give this higher information because it directly relates to information that came through with that practitioner. She felt compelled to reach out to her because she wanted to bring this knowledge forth so that there could be ancestral healing, as you can not heal from something that you have not faced. However, that healing could not take place because the practitioner had blocked it. They are wanting to benefit monetarily, and this information would have compromised that, because there is information that was withheld. And if Kitty had brought this information forth about those times, it would have shed light on this situation. So we had such high hopes that maybe if we brought them together, they would use their free will to heal this ancestral wound. They have decided not to, and that is their choice.
When you choose to not be able to help heal, what is the impact and consequences of that?
The impact is that you will have to go through much to learn the same lesson over and over until you do. If you give up an opportunity to heal, then you will have to still face that same challenge over and over until you do. It cannot be left unhealed. It will have to be balanced. If it is not in this life, it will be in the next and the next. You cannot run.
Are we able to help assist anyone that is still not able to release and heal from their experiences from Lemuria and Atlantis today?
Yes, we will send profound healing to all, and that they can accept their part in this, whatever that part was, to accept mistakes and challenges, to face it, to heal it, to grow. We are sending profound love to all who have, and all who still cannot. We will still love them and still hope for them.
Thank you. Yes, I love you reminding us that we are loved. And while we are loved by high dimensional beings, it is still our responsibility to do our inner work, because no one can do it for us.
As much as we wish we could. Yes, we have learned that the hard way, and you will too. You are too learning this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, thank you so much. So then Kitty does want to know, how can she help empower others to do their inner work instead of enabling them?
She should not go down the road with them, to love them, hold space for them. But if she sees spiraling, she should tell them this. Do not be afraid to hurt people's feelings, because if you say it in love, you are only pointing them towards the light. So she can work on empowering them to face the consequences of their decisions. For example, if someone has forgotten to do a project for work and they are stressed and they are freaking out because they chose to prioritize something else, and now they will have a consequence. Her immediate response is to jump in and complete the project they have ignored, to fix it for them. And this is doing them a disservice, in fact. Letting them fall on their face is more helpful, because she will not be here for them to fall back on forever. This is one of the reasons why she cannot be here. Because fixing other people's mistakes is actually helping them stay in the lower density. They do not need saviors. They need to be their own saviors. And if there are consequences to their decisions, they should face the consequences. And she can love them through that pain. She can love them through the disappointment of the reality of the decisions that they made. And unfortunately, seeing them crumble will hurt her. But that is part of their journey. And it is also part of her journey. To learn to love them for their flaws, watch them make mistakes and not fix it, just hold the space, be there for them, listen, love them, but don't micromanage them. Stop trying to control the outcomes of their lives and realize that those consequences are important and necessary for them. This will help her.
I think it will help many. Thank you so much. It is really, 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 really great advice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She also wanted to ask, please, subconscious, if you can show her Nibiru or give her any more information about that, knowing that her son will be going there after he shifts.
Yes, we are showing her. We are showing her it is huge. Wow. It is as big as a planet. There are many rooms. There are many decks, levels, and many collectives. This is a chance for many of the Anunnaki and some few reptilian that have decided to raise their vibration. So this is akin to a new earth experience for them. And there is much to do. There are different atmospheres on the different levels for different entities. And there is simulations for them to, when they first arrive, they will, well, some of them will be hooked into a simulation experience. And that is a safe way for them to continue their 3D lessons while raising their vibrations and experiencing healing physically. And so they will continue to learn lessons on Nibiru. And there is much opportunity for growth. And there are many collectives supporting it. And she needs to know that she will be able to connect with them as well. There will not be a disconnect of communication. He will be profoundly loved and supported by his team. In fact, it will make a profound impact on Nibiru. They will all welcome him. They will be so proud of him. He will be a leader. Eventually, he will help others to raise their vibration from his collective on Nibiru. They will have a new society, one that their collective has never known. It will be a small group at first, and after a while, they will be able to procreate and they will have a new society. The ripple effects of this will go throughout the galaxies. This is a wonderful place for many collectives to go who have not been able to reach a high enough dimension to go on to a new planet. It is beautiful inside. There will be much healing, much celebration, and much accomplishment celebrated there. She need not worry.
That is fantastic news and confirmation for her. So thank you so much. That is fantastic. Goodness. And then she does want to ask if the Anunnaki might have a message for her.
Yes, they actually are the ones that are supporting the Nibiru experience. There are many from that collective who have decided to have a 3D experience on another planet, and also many who are going to Nibiru to raise vibrations. And they are helping the reptilian star seeds. They are working together. The reptilians and Anunnaki have worked together before, and so they are working together again. And the Anunnaki collective just wants to reiterate that there is no good or bad. There is no evil, no good. There is experience. And they would like everyone to know how far their collective has actually advanced because of the Earth experiences. And they would like to thank humanity for the profound experiences that they have been able to have with us here, and for the lessons that they have learned the hard way throughout time with humanity. And they would like us to know that they are going to be supporting many on Nibiru. They would like this opportunity to do the right thing. And they ask that you open your hearts to them and to the reptilian collective, because there are many who will make it to Nibiru, and it is a very, very hard task what they have done. And so they just want everyone to know that they are profoundly sorry for what they have done, and they have looked it in the face. They have realized, and now they have the privilege of assisting some of humanity on Nibiru. They will collaborate. The collectives will collaborate there. It will be beautiful and exciting. And so it is not just for the new earthers to be excited about the future, and it is not for those who do not make it to New Earth. They should not feel like they are less than, because to make it to Nibiru is such a profound advancement, and they will be proud of themselves. And we hope that that everyone will look with less judgment upon those collectives and realize that the healing that has been able to take place because of your experiences here, because of humanity, because of the sacrifices that were made, those collectives really want to thank you for letting them learn those hard lessons and for loving them anyway. There's great hope that the relations in the future will be different than they have ever been because of Earth. This has not been a failed experiment. And we hope that everyone will look to the bright futures and know that no outcome is better than another. They're all purposeful.
Thank you so much. It's amazing. So with those Anunnaki who are on Nibiru, were some of them the ones that wanted to come here back onto Earth and try and make a go of it here?
Yes, yes, they are. Exactly. They have incarnated on Earth to raise their vibrations and to atone and to be in the old Earth, to feel fear, to feel everything that humans of the past have felt. And they chose to incarnate here so that they could have this opportunity.
Amazing. Okay, thank you so much. Kitty also wanted to know the significance of having having so much financial difficulty this lifetime. What was the significance there, please?
The significance is more for her son. It was not a lesson for her, but because she is raising him. Having financial abundance would not have served him. It is part of his desire and his experiences in this life he could not be spoiled, or he would not be able to learn. The family needed to be able to struggle to come together, because every challenge comes so much reward, and feeling the abundance of material is not what any of them wanted for this lifetime. In the past, her son had much abundance and much material, and that is what he based his happiness on. In this life, she is providing him with the real sustenance, which is love. And without the distractions, being able to go through struggles together and being able to experience lack was important. She has done everything she could to shield him from the true state of their financial affairs, but actually it serves him to see struggle and then to see it overcome with love. And that true abundance comes from within. That is such a great lesson for all of us. That when we are provided with more than what we need, we become lazy. We become used to it. We are desensitized, it does not serve the greatest purpose. It is so much better to have less material and more love. If we are given everything we want materialistically, then we will not desire more in life. We will not go searching for inner peace if we are provided with so many distractions and 3D experiences to make us feel what we think is happiness. It is not true happiness. It is distraction. So it is all part of the bigger experience of having to experience lack, to look within, to find the abundance of love.
Fantastic. Makes so much sense. Thank you. And finally, subconscious. Her dad had a near-death experience 2 years ago. What can you tell her about that, please?
Yes, he actually departed at that time. There was a walk-in. She had suspected this. Yes, that is what happened. That is why their relationship is completely different now. The walk-in is a dragon, a protector, a high-dimensional, protective, wise being. And he came at just the right time. He is supporting her son. He is supporting them. The other part of her father is with Source already. And so this walk-in soul is experiencing the last days of Earth and is here as a guide for her son. He needed a male role model, and it was not being provided.
Thank you so much. Subconscious, are we able to send love and healing and releasing to please during her childhood and all the times that she needed to more love and support?
Yes. Yes, we will heal that.
Thank you for your protection and love and support for Kitty today. Angus can see knowing she is protected.
Yes.
Thank you. Are we able to release Kitty from any density that she has gained in this session?